Everyone is complex. And a lot of us feel like the complexity turns people off. The truth is, allowing your complexity to show out into the world will actually draw more people, especially men, into your life. And any man who's in your life, any man who loves you, allowing him to sense your complexity will increase whatever feelings he has for you. And so a lot of us, when we're by ourselves, we sense the complexity. We sense the contradictions inside of us, and it tends to create a sense of repulsion inside of us. We want to be more consistent. We want to be more one-dimensional. But what people don't understand, the people who have the most power in this world, the people who we find interesting, the people who we actually have a hard time getting over, are the people who have complexity. The people who we're not interested in, the people who we don't want to see, the people who we're not interested in media and in relationship are simple. And the reason why they show simplicity is because they're afraid of themselves. They don't understand that their complexity is what draws people to them, okay? So today we're gonna be talking about how to have that proper amount of complexity, right? Because this type of complexity is what keeps a man in love with you. It doesn't mean you're a psycho. Because the thing about psycho people that people like is that they're complex. We're just gonna remove the negative and keep the positive in this type of complexity. So stay tuned to the end of the video, because I believe this video is not about confusing people and being mean. It really isn't. It's truly about giving people an experience of who you are. Because at the end of the day, you're not one-dimensional. You're not super just nice. You don't just believe one thing. You have contradictions that you're hiding from people, from men, that actually is what men want to see. So let's embrace our complexity and begin with the video. And if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you guys can book a 30, 40, 15-minute session with me today and have on the phone. Just go to mindfulattraction.org or click on the description down below, and there you'll be able to work with me today, right now, okay? So let's begin with the video. So remember, men love solving problems, all right? I know it sounds obvious, but when you really look at it in application, a lot of people simplify their personality out of fear of turning them off. The truth is that guys like to see a puzzle, right? They like to see something entangled so that then they could actually fix it, right? They wanna have a puzzle to fix. And what happens is that when we are insecure about our personalities, about our nature, we find this complexity a fearful thing. We think that if people see how complex and how much we contradict ourselves, that's gonna actually turn them off. And that's why when you act out of fear, you make all of the mistakes. Truth is, men want to see some complexity. And let me show you how to do that. The first way to show complexity is through showing men your dark side. Your dark side are emotions that you suppress. Maybe you hate a certain kind of person. Maybe you hate a certain kind of people. Honestly, you have racism, right? Or maybe you have certain desires for dark things. Maybe you want to punch a kid. Maybe you want to be able to hurt people, right? Maybe you have a suppressed anger that you're afraid to show. The problem with this type of suppression is that it comes out in unattractive ways. Maybe you want to have more control, but you suppress your desire for control. And so then you become passive aggressive. And that dark desire that you have becomes suppressed, and it actually begins to sabotage you. What you want to be able to do is release your dark side. Find ways to release it. For example, you see my videos, and obviously I make some dark jokes. Obviously I say some offensive things from time to time, but because that's just how I am. There's a part of me that is very sardonic, that likes to joke about things that are holy. And this allows me to show my dark side, because when you show people your dark side, you might piss them off a little bit, but it is your dark side that gives contour to your personality. When you only show the light side, you become like a circle, 3-dimensional, 2-dimension with no contours. But whenever you add the shadow to your personality, you come from a flattened version of yourself to all of a sudden a 3-dimensional person that has depth, that has contradiction. And even though it might include dark desires, that 3-dimensionality makes people say, oh my God, this person is complex. This person is profound. And it actually draws people. This is why guys like The Rock was so interesting when he was a WWF champion, because he had a dark side. Muhammad Ali, he was somebody who was an asshole. Oh, I'm the greatest. But also he was a Muslim. But also he fought for a cause. He had a light side and a dark side, and it drew people to them. Even Jesus was holy, but when he saw people gambling in church, he decided to throw tables, to get angry and show anger. And a lot of people would say, that's not Jesus-like. That is Jesus-like. He has a dark side, not the devil, but a dark side, a side that gets angry. And so a lot of people suppress negative emotions. What I'm trying to tell you, embrace it. Learn to not suppress it. If you don't suppress it and you find ways to express it, it'll integrate into your personality, and you'll become someone who integrates their shadow. So maybe you have aggressive energy. Find a way to express that shadow. Maybe get into boxing. Me, I'm a very competitive person. So what I do is that you'll notice I'm a nice person. As soon as I play basketball, I become hyper competitive. And so it allows my dark side to express itself without sabotaging me. And it gives me an extra dimension. People find you complex in a good way. Now, the next one is embracing the masculine and the feminine, right? You have the feminine side and then you have the masculine side. Maybe you're the type of person that enjoys playing with flowers, that enjoys playing with dolls, right? But then you give yourself more complexity if you show a guy that you like cleaning cars, that you like fixing cars, that you like playing sports, that you do masculine things. Not just doing feminine thing because it goes with your gender is not what I want you to do. I want you to sometimes go in the opposite direction of your gender, right? So, and a perfect example of that was David Bowie, right? David Bowie did things that contradicted his gender. Prince, Michael Jackson, right? Heck, even me, right? Like I like to play basketball. I like to do boxing. I like to do physical stuff, but I also enjoy art. I also enjoy doing feminine thing, meditation, and that type of stuff. When you have a mix of your masculine and the feminine, and you literally show it off through the way that you dress, even the way that you talk, even the way you move, even the way that you sit, there's a masculine quality. So it gives you a tint of profoundness. Like I genuinely love women who have a feminine edge that are feminine but have a masculine edge. Maybe she looks completely feminine but has a masculine edge. Maybe she's completely feminine but has masculine hobbies. That is what you want. But so many women are freaking Teletubby ass Tinky Winkies that they're only one side, and they're doing that on purpose. They're suppressing their real nature. If you were really being honest with yourself, you'll notice that you have a feminine and a masculine, and that would draw men to you. I promise you, men will like that. The next point is your introvertedness and your extrovertedness. Ladies and gentlemen, your introverted side, everyone has an introverted and extroverted side. Right? Me, I'm somebody who's naturally extroverted, right? I'm somebody that if you watch me, you'll notice that I have different sides to my personality. I like to hang out with people. I like to have events, drawing events on my place, but I also like to have my alone time. I also like to finish my events and be alone for a couple hours, right? You want to be able to have two sides to your personality. Everyone has an introvert and an extrovert. So you have to be able to develop both sides. People only usually develop one side and not the other, right? So the way that you do that, for example, when I was naturally extroverted. So one of the ways that I developed my introverted side is to literally meditate and be alone. I go to 10-day meditation retreats, right? And these meditation retreats allow me to get in touch with my introverted side, with my shy side, with my quiet side. And so it allows me to be alone. And that gives range to my personality, right? Or even somebody who's introvert, practice being more social. Go out of your way and be more social. By you forcing yourself to go in the opposite direction of your natural inclinations, you'll give your personality more depth, more complexity. They'll think you're introverted, but then when you hang out with your friends, they see an extroverted side. People like that, right? And it even works when you're shy before you know people, but once you get to know them, you're not shy, that even works. That shows complexity and depth, and men will fall in love with that. Now, the next one is that your love is conditional. When you give the impression to people that the love that you give is unconditional, they're gonna stop thinking deeply of you, and they'll find you very one-dimensional. Letting people know going out of your way to let people know that the love that you have is not conditional is very important. Because that's when you make people think that you'll never leave them, that's when they start taking you for granted. That's when they start seeing you and saying, okay, this person is simple. I already figured them out. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to impress. You got to make sure that the people know that you're like an independent voter. You're not a Democratic voter where you have my vote all the time. I'm an independent voter and you have to work for my vote. Now, with your family, obviously, you're going to show conditional love. But when you're meeting people and they're getting to know you, at first, never give the impression that the love that you have is conditional. Never, right? Because what that does, it brings out everyone's inner demon, right? Showing conditional love without them having to do anything to earn it causes people to become hyper aggressive, right? Always indicate in the beginning and as you're getting to know people that you love is conditional. It is conditional. They're not your kids. Now, the next one to have more complexity is, for example, don't subscribe to societal roles. For example, when you look at me, you naturally assume that one, I might be a vegetarian. Like a lot of people think I'm a vegetarian. A lot of people think that I vote Democrat, right? When in reality, I vote more independent. When in reality, I am not a vegetarian, right? And so that kind of has the soul of what I'm trying to tell you, which is don't look exactly how you are, right? If people would think you vote Democrat, look like you would go Republican. If you look like somebody who plays basketball, take time out of your day to look like someone who doesn't do sports. If you're somebody that looks like an asshole, look like a really nice person. If you're somebody that's really nice, go out of your way to have some aesthetics that look kind of asshole-ish. That gives you complexity. That is actually kind of similar to your dark side, right? Where you could be a very holy, a very nice person, right? But then there's a part of you that has an inner aggression, right? A part of you that has an unholiness to it. And so you kind of go out of your way to show it. An example of that is right? Rasputin, if you look at him, he looks very holy, right? Everything his wear, how he dresses, looks very holy. I'm gonna look for it right now because it's actually a very good example. But then the part that has the dark side is his eyes, right? So he'll look like an angel, as we can see right here. He'll look like an angel. Oh my God, right here, right? Boom. He looks like an angel right here. But what gives him his charisma, his profoundness is in the eyes, right? It's in the eyes. He has a complexity in the eyes where everything is normal, but then when you look at the eyes, it has intensity, right? And so that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to tell you to be a contradiction. I'm trying to tell you to have some contradictions, right? You look like a passive, nice girl, then if you are that, have some toughness. For example, I like dating women who are feminine, but have a masculine exterior. Oh my God, Father Alex is gay. No, it's just usually they're really fun. They're really great people to hang around with, right? I find that really attractive, the inner feminine, but masculine on the outside. And the next one is very important, and this is the last one, is that it's kind of similar to yesterday, that you're slow to open up. And what I mean by that is that getting to know you is a very slow process. Getting to know your dark side is a very slow process. Getting to know that you like them back is a slow process. Getting to be in a relationship with you is a slow process. Everything with you is, you go at a slower pace. And that creates a sense of anticipation. That makes them want to get to know you more. And that causes their imagination. It causes that their imagination will begin to do the dirty work for you, right? When you take things slow, because they're not where they want to be with you, their imagination does everything. And so it forces them to think harder, to do more, to put more effort to impress you. Just taking it slow, right? So remember, men love problem solving. Don't show everything about you too quickly. They like your dark side. They like your masculine and the feminine. They like when you have an introvert and extroverted side. They like it when you don't look exactly how you come across. In other words, you have a contradiction. And they like it when you slowly allow them to get to know you. This complexity creates an emotional response. The love that you provide is not conditional, so they know that they could fuck up and you will leave, right? Little fucking nice girls like these are always happy, are never willing to walk away, and so because of that, guys just don't respect them. They just don't. The reason why that is because they're just too predictable, right? They're way too predictable. You want to be able to be difficult to figure out, not hiding yourself, not lying about who you are, but that you intentionally make it a little difficult. And guys don't find that manipulated, people. They really don't. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, click on the description down below. Don't forget, we're having a 50% off all of our courses. That means the psychological game of attraction, nice girl, feminine woman, and even all of my bundles where you could purchase all of my courses in one go. You could purchase all of them using the coupon code BLACK to get 50% off all of them. And it's open until the end of the year. Remember, 50% off courses, including the bundle, people. We rarely have that. All you guys ask me when you're gonna do that, and I usually don't because I don't like to put my courses on discount. But this year, we're doing it, people. So take advantage of that now. You have access to the courses for your whole lifetime. So that means that 10 years from now, if we're still alive, you're gonna have the course for yourself, right? So see you guys inside, and thank you so much for watching my videos. Take care.